Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
2 weeks ago at Charlotte Motor Speedway, we went caution-free but had an amazing duel which saw Aaron Abel get his first win on the season for the Powerade Truck Series, and Tricon Garage's third win with 3 different drivers. The 11 races in, still no repeat winners, and we have 2 races to go until the chase begins. New Hampshire and Pocono, the Northeast two-step here, and we are getting down to crunch time. Who will win here today at New Hampshire and set themselves up to possibly make it into the Season 5 chase next week after Pocono? It is race 12 on the season in the United Mills 175 at New Hampshire. What's up everyone, it's boy that's Race 97 aka Nathan Stapleton here, and welcome to New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the first time ever on the channel, for the Truck Series and on the channel as a whole. This was supposed to be Stafford Motor Speedway, but unfortunately a problem happened with pit stops, so wanted to start pit stops, so we're gonna go to New Hampshire here this season and see if we can fit Stafford for next season. But still a new track to the schedule, and that is a 2-day event here at New Hampshire for trucks today, and of course Cup Series tomorrow. I'm not alone for this one. I'm joined by Andrew Miller back here in the booth. Been a hot minute, but Andrew, welcome to New Hampshire.
Good to be here. You said this is the first time you've ever been here on your channel. That's kind of surprising, just considering how long you've been doing this for. But hey, that's cool that we're gonna see something different here. New Hampshire. I don't see a lot of offline or online races take place at this track, so this will be a bit of an unknown for probably both of us, but I'm sure that hey, it's going to be an exciting show, and I'm looking forward to seeing what these truck drivers are able to make happen here.
Oh yeah, it's going to be very interesting. It's kind of shocking that it's the first time that we have New Hampshire on the channel, but it's going to be interesting without a shadow of a doubt. Based off of testing, could be maybe a little bit hard to pass, but there's also 2 lanes that can work out here, so it's gonna be interesting of how things work out. 45 laps, pit window is about 30, so there will be 1 pit stop depending on if we get a caution then early on, then they could pit later. But with a lot of unknowns of this being a first time ever racetrack here for these guys, 1 race before the regular season finale next week at Pocono, what do you think is gonna happen here at New Hampshire?
It's really going to depend, I think, on how the track is going to grip up. I know for the most part the inside lane is going to be the place to be, but if this thing drives anything like probably like how it either would in real life or in certain online situations, sometimes the outside or more like a middle lane can be the best place to be because of the progressive banking. So it's just going to be a matter of who's able to find that grip patch the quickest, and then how they're going to be able to use that to their advantage, especially if it's someone maybe a little bit deeper in the field. So I think that track position is going to be a little more important here. So probably anyone here in the top 10 is going to have a good shot at it. Outside of that, you're going to maybe need to hope for something good to happen to you. But, I mean, like I said, big unknown. We'll see what happens. I could be way off with that assessment. It is it's a great looking track, though. We can definitely say that. So we're gonna have a good show regardless. It's a matter of who can kind of find the unknown factors and use them to their advantage.
It's definitely going to be a wild one here at New Hampshire. Kind of have to wait and see what happens. And now getting to the points and getting straight to the race to the chase standings. Jordan Stella has a 1-point lead over first Mendoza. Stella has 254 and Mendoza has 253. Stella is plus 52 and Mendoza is plus 51. Eli Boyd is on a roll as of late with top 5s and top 10s. He's third in points, 45 above the guard line. And Sean Mullen, who was the point leader for most of the season, has dropped down a little bit, but still plus 43. As of now, if those two finish, if those four finish, I want to say about 35-ish points or so, 35, 40 points leaving here, then they will lock into the chase a race early. But then everyone else, they are racing for their lives. Matthew Burnett, the Northwest Bowl winner, who's been really good this season, is 5th in points, but only 14 points above the cutoff line. Zachary Fitzwater is in 6th, 10 points above the cutoff line. Justin Idell is plus 9. Juan Garcia is plus 7. Willem Ayers is plus 2. And Nick Lopez is only plus 1. John Hernandez is the first one outside, minus 1. Caleb Rose is minus 5. But he does start second here today, so that could be a really good opportunity for that 19 team to get a lot of points here today. First one with a wild card is Ben Watson, 13th in the point standings, minus 6 in the 6 points below the cutoff line. Jerry Rando has been really fast this season, been close on getting that win many times, but is in 14th, minus 11. Angel Gutierrez has wildcard number 2, barely 1 point over Aaron Abel. Gutierrez is minus 12, and then Abel is minus 13, only 1 point behind Gutierrez and Abel. One last time out at Charlotte. So now, as of now, we have Watson, Gutierrez, and Abel battling for the 2 wildcard spots. Chris Jericho is minus 16, Roberto Quantrini is minus 17, Anthony Hernandez is minus 24, and then Kyle Wyatt is in 20th, minus 30. So, after today, we can clinch some drivers in, potentially as many as 4, and we could potentially eliminate some drivers of chase contention. Gonna be a wild one here today, and on pole is Ben Watson's teammate in the number 24, Stephen Colon, with the pole, and the long time is the number 19 of Caleb Rose. Row 2 is Chris Jericho and Anthony Hernandez. Row number 3 is 2 drivers in the top 5 in points, Matthew Burnett and the point of Jordan Stout. Row number 4 is Nick Lopez and Johnny Hernandez, and rounding out the top 10 is Trim Whitfield of Daytona, and the all-time wins leader of Juan Garcia. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get these 32 trucks rolling off here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. But not only the first time in Truck Series history, but first time ever on the channel. Make sure everyone is rolling off, and they are. And do 45 laps on tap, around 30 laps on fuel. It's a complete unknown, but strategy's going to play into factor, and track position is going to be key. Who do you think will win here at New Hampshire?
Oh boy. As you said, big unknowns here. So, you know what? I'm gonna go with the number 45 there. I think Anthony Hernandez is in a good spot. As long as that outside lane it's got the grip that I'm thinking it will, then I think it's going to be a great spot. But a little fun fact here, last in points is starting on pole here.
It's been a tough season for GMS, but they've had some speed, but not had the good luck. Can the 24 have good luck here today? Stephen Clone and Caleb Rose is on the front row, and we have green flag race for the first time ever at New Hampshire, and for the unanimous 175, 2 races to go in the regular season. Oh my goodness, Harley is outside already. That's Brian Nelson, and Matt Johnson's going to go around off of turn number 1. And the caution is going to be out already on lap 1, turn number 2.
Wow, that was fast. But, man, look at that. Outside pole sitter's going to lead them back. Had it saved, and then around went to 13. But, man, I think whoever that was that hit the wall, I can't quite remember who it was.
I believe it was
but
9.
whoever it was that hit the wall.
Yeah, it was...
Okay. Yeah, whoever hit the wall is going to be probably the worst shape.
My goodness. Now, this is going to be interesting. We only did, in theory, 1 lap on the green. Tire was not really that bad, but fuel, it's only 1 lap of fuel. And the 19 is going to stay out. The 24 is going to pit. Same with the 4. And we're going to have some split strategy here. And,
wow.
Oh, boy.
That's interesting. Oh, man, it's pretty split.
It is pretty split, yeah.
Very surprised.
I guess in theory, just top
off. I gotta
off
imagine it's going to be fuel only.
Yeah, I would imagine. If you only go a couple laps later, And it looks like that's Dell's taking tires. I don't know if he's doing a strategy or if he was involved in a crash, but he took 2 tires there. And it looks like it's going to be, like I said, fuel only for the majority of the field here. And it's going to be interesting of how this plays out, because if this thing stays green, maybe they can stay out a couple laps later and maybe take a little bit less fuel as well. But looks like it was very split between, I want to say, the top 10, top 15 all stayed out. Yeah, I want to say about top 15. And it would be Caleb Rose as the race leader on the restart. But let's take a look at what happened to bring out the first caution on lap number 1, turn 2 at New Hampshire. Here we go, this happened on lap 1, turn 1 and 2. The rookie of Sean Martin, kind of does a rookie mistake here in the number 38 machine. 4th in points, but slacking off a little bit towards the end of the regular season. And, you know, everyone's a rookie here, but she just gasses it way too early, slides up the racetrack, and door slams the number 9 of Brian Nelson. And that's going to slam the 9 into the outside wall, but first get clipped by the 13, and this is going to be a big hit for Brian Nelson. Skylar Taylor with a little bit of damage. Fitzy might have a little bit of a tap. Angel Gutierrez is going to have a little bit of tap, and then the 13 is going to get turned by Zachary Fitzwater. But I think the truck that's going to have the most damage out of that one is going to be the 13 of Matt Johnson and the number 9 of Brian Nelson. Fitzy might have a little bit of damage, maybe just minimal. Same with maybe the 16, maybe the 33. But the 2 twists that we might have to worry about lap driver maybe might be the 9 and the 13, especially the 9. That was a big hit into that outside wall and tough break to start the race on lap 1, turn 2 here at the Monster Mile. Well, not the Monster Mile, the Magic Mile. Not very magical for that number 9 team.
Yeah, 38 makes the move. But, I mean, it's as you said, I mean, you don't quite know what you got with this being such an unknown track, and the 38 is kind of following the line, and I think didn't realize they were 3 wide. Yeah, a little rookie error perhaps is being that aggressive, but I mean, at the same time, with what we were talking about track position, trying to make up that ground early really isn't the worst play ever, but still, yeah, I mean, the 38 who ended up causing all that is going to end up unscathed. Several others, not so much.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate right there, and we're going to keep an eye out on Roberto Conchini because he might have had damage. Oh, a little bit of contact between the 11 and I believe that was the 5, or the 11 and the 98, actually. And Conchini has some damage, I think, or he's just doing different strategy. I'm not entirely sure of what Roberto Conchini could be doing. Now watch him down pit road.
There was definitely contact, yeah, but it didn't look that severe.
Yeah, we might take a look off camera to see what happened, but it would be a strategy race here at New Hampshire with the top 12 trucks staying out. And Caleb Rose will be the race leader. Seidel, as far as we know, is the only one that took 2 tires. Everyone else that pitted took fuel only. Rose will be the race leader, and let's get back to the restart here at New Hampshire. We are back. We found what happened to Roberto Jr. It's the 38 again, and 38 just brake checks right in front of the 5. I'm perplexed on that.
I mean, the 5 was awfully close to her, but yeah,
Sean Martin.
I don't know. Sean Martin, yeah, that wasn't good.
2 rookie mistakes and not even completed 1 lap on the green. That's unfortunate because Crown Jr. had to have a good one today because they were 17 points below the cutoff line, and now he's gonna have a rough day, and that might end their chances at making the season 5 chase. It's been a very up and down season for this 5 team, and essentially that rookie mistake is gonna take out that number 5 truck. So as we under caution. Now let's go ahead and get back to the restart here at New Hampshire. Welcome back to New Hampshire Motor Speedway for race 12 on the season and for the United Motors 175. After a lap 1 turn 2 crash, no one is out of the race, but unfortunately for Crown Genius, they have a no hood in that number 5 truck, and the number 9 is 1 lap down of Brandon Nelson. The top 12 stay out, while 13 went back, pitted for fuel for the most part, besides Idell, who they took 2 tires. Rose, Burnett, Stout, Hernandez, Wakefield the top 5, Bright, Sustry, Watson, Farrington, and Mendoza the top 10. Back green with 40 laps to go here at New Hampshire for the 39 Motors 175, and hopefully we can do a green flag lap this time. And here we go. This is going to be interesting if what happens on the single file restart.
So far, so clean. Is 45 looking to try to make the move on to 35. Now, I don't expect those guys that pitted to really make that much progress. I think that they are hoping to probably get the overcut and maybe just pit a little bit later than the rest of the field here, or maybe even get a lucky caution, and they'll be ahead of everybody else. So you never know. I'll be interested to see how that strategy is going to play out for the 24 on back.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting because as far as we know, the only driver that took tires, and that was 2 tires, was just Idell. And maybe he can make up a few more ground. And looks like he always is in the number 22 as, what the? The 11 and the 17 are down pit road. Tricon and shambles here today. I don't know what happened between the 11 and the 17, but they are on down pit road.
That ain't a strategy call because they're going to have to pit again.
Yeah, they're still going to have to pit again.
Something must have occurred.
I don't know if they passed before the start finish line and now Gutierrez is on pit road. So I don't know if the officials are busting them for making a pass on the inside before the start finish line or what. But that's not what Alan Abel wants, because he was just looking into the wild card position. Now he's gonna be off strategy, and he's still gonna have to pit once again around lap 38. And sure, you would be able to take less fuel than everyone else will, but that's not really gonna work out for him. Tough day for Tricon, but the one truck that is up front is Matthew Burnett in 2nd place, currently 5th in the point standings, and he could be in good shape of making it into the chase. And if he does, he could be a really good championship contender. But another guy that could be a good shot is the point of Jordan Stout. Was good in trucks last season, was good in Cup last season, and what he did was pure consistency. And that's what he's doing this season. No wins yet, but he is appointed in it. But he would love to get him in here today. Currently in 3rd, trying to get 2nd, but this really is going to be a little bit tricky to pass here at New Hampshire. It's not hard, but it's harder than most racetracks, but still all over the back bumper of Matthew Burnett.
Just trying to get a little bit spread out here. It's 35, of course, still running until 15, as you said. But pretty much everyone in the top 10 looks like kind of minding their P's and Q's at the moment. A little bit of side-by-side, much further back. But I don't know what was going on with those guys that had to pit. It had to have been something wrong because they also took service, and if it was a penalty, they wouldn't be able to. So, something else was going on there. It's 3 wide further back in the field. Let's see how that'll play out.
There's definitely some passing going on, but not quite for the ways to lead. Watson, he needs a good one today. He has wildcard number 1, but he's only 6 points below. He could still make the chase if all things go his way. Mendoza, 2nd in the point standings, could clinch and run out inside the top 10 and would probably clinch a spot. Caleb Rose is of course leading, and that would help him massively to not only have a wildcard spot if needed, but also probably get into the top 10 in points. I saw Jay Rando in the 16 is deeper back in the field, around 20th or so. there he is in the black and orange trailer. Chris Jericho is not in the top 10 and is actually deep in the field as well. Gutierrez was involved in the lap 1 incident. Abel went down pit road. Colonel Jr. was involved with an incident on the caution. And then Anthony Hernandez, who is in 5th, but was minus 24, needs 2 good races in a row if he wants a shot at making the chase. And today is, right now, this is a good start for this 45 team. And then Sestra is having a good one this season, has been basically 20th in points all season. And so far, this 99 team is in 7th, but it's going to be hard to pass. And it's really going to come down to the pit crew reigns here today, as Caleb Rose, who started outside pole, is really starting to pull away now here on this longer one. And Burnett is starting to hold up Stout, Wakefield, and Hernandez. And once again, Eli Bright is running a top 5, top 7-1, having a much better consistency over here in the Trust versus inconsistent season in the Cup Series. Great one once again for this 41 team. Oh my goodness.
There's a lot of movement throughout a lot of these guys. I mean, I'm seeing guys that are going way up the track, way down. I'm with you. I feel like it's probably just the fact that these guys have never done this track before. They don't know really what's up. I mean, I know it's AI, but it's still. I mean, it's a weird track, and it's a different one. So we got to pass for third there, but it's something that it's hard to get used to. So I'm sure that's probably what's showing.
Yeah, I guess the only tracks that are kind of like this are Phoenix and Gateway, but Gateway is its own animal, so I guess Phoenix would be the best track similar to New Hampshire. And Juan Garcia did win at Phoenix, so I'm not surprised that there's a Tricon truck up front with Burnett in 2nd. But how about Caleb Rose? He started the season off up and down, a slow start, but second half of the regular season he's been more consistent. And right now, we're going to have to see how the strategy ends up working out, because he was one of the 12 tours that stayed out, and we'll probably have to pit around lap 30 still. Meanwhile, everyone else might be able to pit 33, 35, and that could get really interesting. How is Justin Zidell doing, as we have a battle for third again between Stout and Wakefield? Zidell, who's on 2 fresh tires, is currently still in 20th, so those 2 fresh tires are not really working out that well for the number 30 machine. And we have a really good battle going back and forth here between Stout and Wakefield. It was Stout, it was Wakefield, and now Stout trying to take a bet. And there's also a good battle between Nick Lopez and Ben Watson for the 10th position. So there's good battles all over the racetrack, even though it is a little bit of a harder track to manage and get passes done.
I was also keeping an eye on that 24, who was the first guy who pitted for anything, and of course took fuel. Only gained 1 spot since the restart, running 12th right now. We'll see if the overcut is going to be the way to go here, or if the undercut is going to be the right way to go. Nathan, I know that you were testing this track, but I feel like New Hampshire is not really a track that we're going to see all that much tire fall off.
Yeah, definitely not. As of now, there's only 4 tenths of fall off, so tire fall off's not really going to be that significant, but it's going to be interesting on what the strategy call will be versus the undercut and the overcut. I have no clue of what's going to work out, as Jordan Stout is going to try to take second away from Matthew Burnett, and we might see a McInerney 1-2 here with Rose and Stout side by side for second, and we could end up seeing a teammate versus teammate battle here, because Jordan Stout is really finding a new gear here. He got passed by Wakefield, but got past him right back, and now he's going to take second away from Burnett. Stout might have a long one truck, and we could see teammates go at it for this race win up to pit stops and what happens there. But how about the point here? A great one here today, and a great one for McInerney 1-2. Wakefield, a great one for him. Of course, the development driver of Travis Crampton won all the way back at Daytona, but it has been almost non-existent since then. And a great one inside the top 5. 2 knee struts inside the top 10. and Donnie Farmington is doing a good one as well. Lap trucks might be a factor. I mentioned the number 9 would possibly be a factor, and that might be a case. He's the only truck really off the pace. Crown Jr. is unfortunately in 31st with that hood being gone. But this 9 truck might be a factor and might slow down Rose, but Caleb Rose has a 2-second lead now over his teammate. Wow.
Yeah, 19 is gone. But look at how much they absolutely stacked up everyone behind them with all that side by side. That 15 is definitely starting to slip maybe a little bit, falling off of the 2 guys in front of him, and now has a horde of drivers breathing right down his neck. So I don't know if maybe he was pushing it a little bit too hard. I mean, we were saying tire fall off isn't going to be that significant, but I think it's going to be just enough that it will at least make a little bit of a difference as far as how you drive the track.
Yeah, it's a little bit, maybe 5 to 7 tenths, so that's still some fall off, and if you push it too much, then you can hurt the truck later on in the 1, and that might be what happened to the 15, because he was 2nd and dropped back to 4th, and now has 45 all over the back bumper. Hernandez having a good one here, Sus right to the inside of Eli Bright, and Farmington to the inside of Mendoza. Good battles here, and some good ones for Thorsport. Thorsport's had a rough season. Sustry has been the best driver consistently for this 99 team, and it's shown because he's been around 20th in points for several races in a row now. So this 99 truck definitely the best truck so far for Thorsport, and Farmington's going to get to the inside aggressively of Eli Bright, and a pair of Thorsport rookies are making some big time moves. Here's the 33, who I believe is he a lap down? He is a lap down, so not in front of the leaders. So, and Watson really wants to get past him. As we have a battle up front. Oh no, never mind. That's the lap truck. This might play into a factor here. Rose has almost a 3-second lead, and it's not really gonna matter much. He's gonna easily get past number 9 with a great pass down the back switch. And Rose might be on cruise control, but oh, that's not good. The 9 is going to try to hang on, but that's not going to get the job done right there. Nelson's going to go 2 laps down. And right before pit stops, as of now, it will be Rose, Stout, Wakefield, Burnett, Anthony Hernandez, Sustry, Bright, Mendoza, Farmington, and Watson, the top 10 here at New Hampshire.
About another 3 laps away before we see those top 10 pitch. 24, maybe another 6 if I had to take a rough estimate.
Something like that.
We'll see if that how it's going to end up playing into things here.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Got started already. That's an early stop for the 88, but we were just talking about overcut versus undercut. I think he's going to try for the under.
Yeah, Vladimir looked like he was deeper in the field than what he wanted to. Was like at least 25th on bat, and might as well try something here, trying to undercut it, and gonna pit. Caleb Rose, the race leader, is gonna pit on lap 30, coming to lap 31, and he's gonna bring in the 35, 20, 15, and a bunch of others on down pit road, and that's the majority of the rest of the field that stayed out under the caution, in fact. And now that's going to give the race lead to Nick Lopez in number 32.
Wonder if maybe they saw that 88 pit and thought, you know what, let's not risk it. Let's go ahead and let's try to play it safe. A lot of these guys just trying to maintain points. So, but for everyone outside the top 10, hey, might as well go for it. Give it a try. Looking at that 24, and no one's going to pit this time. I have a funny feeling that probably everybody that did not pit that first time probably went in that time.
Probably, if I had to guess, everyone that pitted right there on lap 30, lap 29, stayed out. And now the trucks that pitted under the caution could go maybe 3 to 5 extra laps here. And yep, here we go. The 25 is on pit road. There, oh my goodness, that was close for Chris Mills. Almost hit the pit barrels. And now a bunch of trucks on pit road that pitted under the caution. And this is the extreme overcut now, with the 4, 16, 51, 30, 24, and 13 in the 5. And now here comes the 32, the 24 down pit road. The 43, the 02, the 52.
Whoa.
Oh, that was a little bit tight.
Just a little bit. Now the 20 gained a lot of ground on the 19. I noticed that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, well, relatively speaking, of course, but a fair amount nonetheless. So we'll see if he's gonna be able to maybe chip into that lead at all over these final 11 laps.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. I think it's gonna come down to Rose and Wakefield still, but have to keep an eye out on these drivers here that might go out a little bit later. And I think it might be Caleb Rose. It should be Caleb Rose that's going out as the race leader once again. It looks like that will be the case. Caleb Rose is going to be the race leader. Wakefield in second, definitely closed in a little bit. It might be a second and a half compared to 2.5 seconds. I have to watch and see here. Rose out front, and oh yeah, it was 2.7 before pit stops, and now it's down to 1.16. So definitely gonna have a battle here with about 11 laps to go with Wakefield and Rose. Caleb Rose trying to get his first win in the Truck Series, and Wakefield trying to get a second on the season. And then it'll be Abel. Here's the thing, Abel is on a different strategy because he pitted right after that caution, and he's gonna pit right now. So that's not gonna work out for the number 11.
That'll be the 15, 35, 24. Looks like he pretty much just held position. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, here's the number 9.
Causing a problem.
Yeah, the number 9.
Big positions gained by the 88.
Oh!
Well, debatable at this rate. Oh, my goodness.
That strategy of doing the undercut definitely worked out for Bradley Ween, but at what cost? The number 9 is definitely causing some chaos, and depending on what this 9 truck does, we might not be done with having a caution here, because that was a couple of close calls in one lap. How about this 24, the Steam Clone? Last and points, like you said, definitely needs a good one to have any kind of second half of the season momentum, and that's what he's going to do. Is he's in the top 10. And how about the number 17? Actually, yeah, the 17 is still out. He's in 12th. I think he's on the same strategy in Abel's though, so maybe he's trying to stretch on fuel. This is the 30 of Zidell, who had that real strategy of taking 2 tires the first time. He's up to 14th, so still gonna be a nice top 15 one for 30 as of now. Less than 10 laps to go. And get back up to the front. We might have a battle for the race when this is not over. It's down to 0.7 of a second between Wakefield and Rose. This is not over, Andrew.
No, it is not. Another 10th taken out of the gap that time. Down to only half a second. So now it's just going to be a matter of can the 20 catch him? And then can he try to make the move? It seems like the inside lane is where you want to be to try to pass. But I don't know, that 19 is pretty quick, so we'll see if he's going to have enough to try to fend off the 20, or if the 20 is going to have enough to actually make that move done, because it's one thing to catch him, it's another thing to get by him.
So what I'm going to see is down pit road, that strategy's not going to work out. 6 laps short. I mean, seeing what ends up happening, because both the 11 and 17 did not need bad days yesterday, and that could be very tight. But this is going to be interesting. 5 laps to go. Rose has been the dominant truck all day, but Wakefield has found another gear and is closing in fast, getting to 1.5 tenths last time by, and he's going to cut from 4 tenths down to 2 tenths, just over 2 tenths. 5 laps to go. Wakefield trying everything they can, and now this is the hard part. The easy part was catching up with that 19, but the hard part is passing him with 5 laps to go.
And now you got to go where he's not. And if you just stay in the tire track to the 19, that might be the lane that works best for you. But you might have to go somewhere that you're not quite so comfortable running, or where the truck might not stick as well. But it's what you got to do. He's right on his tail, so he's gonna have to try to figure something out.
He definitely is faster. Wakefield is bad fast in the number 20 truck, but I bet Mac and I would love to get the first win on the season. Will Parrish won at Kansas with the number 17 of Little Williams. Not have a win yet this season, even though the 35 is leading the point standings. The 20 is going to try to go around the 19 on the outside. Not quite. A great battle between the number 19 and the 20. It's going to be a good old-fashioned one-on-one duel at New Hampshire. A good 1-2, but Rose is hanging on tough. If this 20 can get to the inside, might have something. And here we go, 2.5 laps to go to the inside. Goes Twin Wakefield.
19's going to get the run on the outside. Those are going to stay clear. Nice move.
Great move from the number 19. That's not over yet with how much we've seen this 20 be really fast here late. Gonna have to try and maybe either get back up to this number 19 and do something on the final lap. And might have to send it down into turns 3 and 4. But we are gonna have 1 lap to go at the line. And this is not over. Wait for 21 outside lane and build up a 1. This might not be it. Here we go. White flag is out. Final lap in the unanimous 175.
That's all you can do right here. That was a great run for the 20. He's doing everything he can. He's going to try it again, trying to get the run. Well, that might be too high. I don't think he's quite going to get there, but I know he's going to try his darndest.
This 20 truck is definitely going to have a shot. He's going to have to send it. He's going to try to whip the outside again. He's going to have a little bit of a 1.
Ooh, nice block.
Nice block from Caleb Rose. It's going to be 1 lap to the good. Caleb Rose will win at New Hampshire. But if it was 46 laps compared to 45, oh man, that could have been fairly close. Wakefield was whipping that second lane to perfection. Had a 1, but was not quite close enough. And Caleb Rose is going to get his first career Truck Series win. And McIntyre is going to get the first win on the season. And they could be in a scenario now, but they could get both trucks into the Season 5 chase.
It's a masterclass from that 19 at the gap. Lost the gap, but then was able to hold on to that position beautifully. Great run, of course, for the 20. Pit road definitely paid off for him. Looks like for the guys that did opt for that strategy at the very first caution, ended up just kind of staying put. I mean, Stephen Collin restarted 13th, winds up 10th. Still a great run, though. I mean, hey, when you're that low in points, you might as well give it a shot. As the 88 just blew up.
Oh. Did the 88 just blow up?
I saw black smoke.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, well, the race here at New Hampshire definitely calm, but it was definitely unique. It was not over till the checker flag flew, and Rose gets the race win. Wakefield in second, Burnett, Stout in fourth. That's going to be plenty good enough to lock himself into the chase. Already was plus 52, so Stout's going to be good. 1 race early. Anthony Hernandez is going to be fifth. That could get interesting. Was minus 24 entering today. Sustry in sixth. Lopez in seventh. That's good for him because he was only 1 point above the cutoff line in 10th. Bradley with a good one in the 88 until he apparently blew up under pit road. And then Logan Williams with a good one. Not quite as good in the Truck Series this season as he has been in the Cup Series this year. And then Stephen Cologne posted in 10th. Farmington's Idell in 12th. That's good for him. Mendoza is going to get 13th. That should be good enough for her to clinch a wild card, a chase spot. Let's see. Fitzy, nice bounce back for Fitzy. He was in the back at the start and didn't really see him all day, but because the top 15 won, that's going to be good for him. Ralford in 15th. Williamson, Johnny Hernandez, Jericho, Watson, Bright, Rando, Oskin, Reynolds, Johnson, and Crown Jr. still with the top 25 won. And then Martin, Gutierrez, Abel, Garcia, Taylor all one lap down with some strategy, I guess. There's a lot of strategy in this one, to say the least. And maybe some penalties for the Tricon Trucks. Nelson 2 laps down, and oh no, the number 2 of William Ayres blew up at some point. And they were only 2 points above the qualifying in 9th. That's not good.
Oh boy.
Well, it's been a very tight season here for the Truck Series, and things might have gone a little bit tighter going into the regular season finale at Pocono next week. A calm race here, a lap 1 incident, some close calls with lap trucks, and a nice duel to the end. Rose gets the race win. What's the final thoughts here at New Hampshire as we have gone 12 races in a row with 12 different winners?
That is impressive, but what's really cool though, I mean, that was definitely this is a good track, and we made for some pretty good racing there. So glad to have been a part of that one. Thank you, Nathan, for bringing me on board. Congrats to Caleb, a well-deserved win from kind of one of the bigger names right now in the game. So, but that was great though. Yeah, this track definitely made for actually some really good racing there, and credit to the 20 as well for putting up such a great fight, even though it looked like that 19 was set sail and gonna win this thing. He did, but just barely.
Definitely cut it a little bit close right there. Not every lap was led because of pit stops and stuff and strategy, but a dominant win for Caleb Rose, but definitely had to hold off a late, hard charging number 20 of tournament field. Great to see, because ever since Daytona, not really seeing young motorsports too often, so a great one for that number 20 machine. And gonna look at the points here. Jordan, Stout, Mendoza, Bright, Moulton, and Burnett all stay in the top 5 in points, and Burnett, that's going to be really good for him. I think the top 5 are going to be fairly much locked in going into Pocono next week. And how about Caleb Rose? He jumped up 6 spots, and he's going to be from 12th to 6th in points for that race win. Wow. Zidell is in 7th, Fitzy in 8th, Nick Lopez in 9th, and John Hernandez has the final spot as of now. 5 points over Juan Garcia. Watson is 7 points behind, and then Anthony Hernandez is going to be in contention. Then Ayres brought back, he's going to be in contention still. Jay Leonard's going to have a shot. Chris Jericho's going to have a shot. Seth Stride's going to have a shot. Oh my goodness, it's still going to be tight going into Pocono. This has been a very tight season, even with the rains. And it's going to be a wild one next week at Pocono. Only 20 laps. And a lot of these drivers' chase hopes will be sealed, signed, sealed, and delivered here at Pocono next week. But what a interesting race here at New Hampshire. And for Anima, for joining me for this one, I'm NS97, aka Nathan Stapleton, and we will see you guys for the Cup Race tomorrow, and for Pocono Raceway for the regular season finale. Bye!